Is your TV ready for the digital shift? On February 18th, 2009, a government mandate requires all broadcast TV stations to shut down their analog signals and begin broadcasting exclusively on the digital spectrum. The move is estimated to affect over 21 million American households that still rely on an analog signal to watch their favorite network programming. And though the digital signal may be better, critics are promising the loss of millions of TV-watching households as a result of the transition. With so many accustomed to getting television for free, is it fair to require them to pay up for a converter box, a cable subscription, or a new TV? How many will upgrade to digital before the blackout? Time to pack up your rabbit ears. It's The Loop. All right, my guest tonight in Chicago, contributing editor for Engadget.com, Nilay Patel joins us, and here in Los Angeles, managing features editor for The Hollywood Reporter, Matthew Bellany is here. Welcome to The Loop, everybody. It seems like overnight, really, the networks have all started heavily pushing awareness for the digital shift. They're finally urging people to upgrade their TV sets or to get these digital converters that are out there. Matt, why is the government mandating this switch in the first place? Like, what's really going on here?
Well, it's a long time coming, and this is something that the FCC and the government has been planning for, they say, almost 20 years. The technology is out there, it's a clearer picture, and it's something that they really feel is a priority. The question now is just an education effort and getting people to know about the switch and the fact that it's coming in less than a year, and a lot of people haven't even heard of it.
Right.
They've got to take an affirmative step to go out there and get their TV equipped, or else they're going to get a bunch of a dark screen instead of what they prefer to watch.
Right, but how many screens are really going dark, Nilay? I mean, I know I live in a bit of a techie bubble out here, but it seems that everyone that I know has TVs with a digital tuner. Of course, they have digital cable. I mean, how many people are actually going to be affected by this switch?
Well, it's a lot more than you think. So, you know, the numbers are estimated between 13 and 20 million households in America only receive broadcast television. They don't have digital cable or satellite. But on top of that, you know, my family, we've got digital cable in the house and we've got rabbit ears somewhere else. So, you know, if you've got a TV in the garage, you know, it's not going to get TV anymore unless you go out and get a converter box. So that 13 to 20 million estimate, that's just people who don't have cable. But then everybody else, you know, if you've got a portable TV or your kids have a TV or something like that, you're going to get affected by this too.
Well, I know I mentioned that the nationwide advertising campaign, it seems to have sprung up from the ground out of nowhere. Matt, you said, of course, now the question is about educating people. All right, well, what's being done exactly?
Well, this has been a priority not only for the FCC, but also for the National Association of Broadcasters. They're spending about $700 million on this. It's a huge priority. They don't want these TV households to just disappear. They want them to know what's going on and know that the government's actually helping them out. They've authorized about 35 million $40 vouchers to give to people as long as they request them to pay for one of these converters that they can get for their TV to make sure that they're going to get the signal.
Right, and those vouchers you're talking about, I know, you know, the $40, you know, rebate coupons or whatever towards the purchase of the converter box, but I know they're going on sale next week, and I've heard they start at $40. Some cost as much as $70. So, Nilay, do you think people are going to shell out cash for the programming that they're used to getting for free? Like that garage set television of yours, are you going to pay to actually receive some programming on it?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, people like TV, and it's, you know, the government's giving you money so that you can watch TV.
Right.
It's more than fair. You know, compare that to the analog cell phone shut off. You know, another Engadget editor named Darren pointed out to me today that the analog cell phone networks are being shut off this week. The government's not paying you to go out and get a digital cell phone. And there are clear benefits. You know, shutting off these networks is going to enable 700 megahertz wireless technology now, which is going to have an impact that's going to be on par with Wi-Fi, cell phones, HDTV. So there's a clear benefit to consumers to make this transition slowly, and the government's really helping you out. I mean, if you get a $40 coupon, you buy a $40 box, you haven't lost anything. You've lost maybe a little bit of time.
Another thing here is they're authorizing 2 per household, meaning, you know, a lot of people when they upgrade to get maybe the flat screen in the living room, they put that old TV in the kitchen or in another room. You can now have 2 coupons to get yourself 2 digital converters there. So it's kind of a good deal if you think about it.
That's true. And Matt, you said, you know, you upgrade to that plasma set in the living room. Do you suspect that a lot of people, once their box goes black, they might finally say, okay, maybe now's the time for me to upgrade? And do you expect sales of like LCDs or plasmas or anything to hop up?
Absolutely. The big retailers are already planning for this. Best Buy, LG, a lot of them have already said that they're hoping it doesn't all come at once and everybody decide next January that they've got to go out to Best Buy and they get a rush on them. That's why
consumers should be.
Go ahead.
Says consumers should be careful because we've already heard reports that Best Buy employees are steering people away from these converter boxes and into TVs they may not need. So Best Buy is doing more than planning for this.
Right, they're encouraging the big switchover rather than getting you just what you need to get those signals, right?
And expect an advertising campaign from them as well. They're going to jump in here.
I bet. Well, now, Nilay, one final question. I mean, is this a coincidence that the deadline for this transition, I mean, it kept getting pushed back, and some people are saying it's a little odd that the final deadline is once a new president has taken office. Like, do you think there's anything political going on here?
I mean, there's probably a little bit of, the government doesn't want to take TV away from people. I mean, that's going to cause a riot, right? So, I think it's political, but we've already heard that, there's money set aside for the big advertising push in the final weeks of, before the switchover. And actually, the coupon program, as long as there's money in the bank, is going to run until March 31st, 2009. So, the government doesn't really do things on time. I think once we get closer to next year, we're going to see this get pushed back even farther. So I don't know if there's any direct conspiracy level political machinery going on here.
Right.
But I do think that there is, the government's very worried.
Someone could be pointing a finger at somebody new, though.
Well, and some of the politicians have already started in on this, saying that the government's not doing enough to educate people, and using the fact that people might not be getting the TV that they've come to expect is an attractive thing for politicians to jump on.
But the thing is, once you get these boxes, your TV set, your picture, even on a regular TV, is undoubtedly going to look better. Because you're not going to get ghosting, you're not going to get banding, or any of that analog TV fuzziness.
Say that to the person who misses the message, and then on February 19th, their TV set just looks black. So
that's why people are predicting it's going to push back.
All right. Well, I want to thank my guests, Nilay and Matt, for joining us. Thank you guys so much for keeping us.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Attack of the Show, weeknights at 7, only on G4.